Hi there. I might sneeze in between these videos, but I am doing a video about the volunteer work that we did for O'Hare for class for Homeland Security. Well, for me, it's for dual class because I also did it for my terrorism class, as you know. It took place in O'Hare. First, we had to sign up, which was pretty straightforward and easy. We had to put down why we wanted to, and I put it down for extra credit for this classes, and we ended up having a little slideshow presentation for like what to do before we get there. So it was a Zoom call. The lady at O'Hare, she set it up, and I still have the slides for it. I don't know how to edit videos, so I can show my professor in person. But it was basically showing us what we're going to be doing, how we're going to do it, where we're going. Some people were going to be screamers, some people were going to be mute. Like, this was our situation. We're going on flight something another. And we were coming back from vacation, some people visiting their families, and the plane went down. Don't quite remember why, but the plane went down. When the plane is supposed to go down, that's when we were all supposed to go from one area in these zones to the next. And I'll get back to that. But she was basically telling us, like, what we're doing, where we're going, who's going to scream, who's not, who's going to be calling out for grandma, who's not. And I was getting pretty excited. And then I interrupted the call, and I was like, I got a question. I was saying that our professor wants us to show proof that we did this. She ended up sending that with pictures. We weren't allowed to bring our cell phones, but Lord, did that not stop people. That did not stop people from bringing their cell phones. I didn't want to risk my extra credit, so I left my phone in the car. We all parked in this weird, like, hangar. It was really cool. It was huge. There's a lot of planes in there. When we did that, there was food from Salvation Army. Most of it was expired and kind of gross because you could see the mold. I don't know what that has to say, but I'm not trusting Salvation Army food anymore. But anyways, to get on with it, right next to the Salvation Army was the makeup crew. And to see if you get makeup, you got to pick a random card. I was basically the last one to get a card. I did not get makeup. But then I got kind of thankful because some people were like tearing their clothes, and I'm like, I don't like that. So then some people got makeup and everything. I switched cards with another classmate because she's already done this. So I ended up being a dude who's like 20-something years old. I think 27. I'm actually 29, but 27 was my actor, and I had high blood pressure. I had pain in my legs, and I could not walk. My heart rate was okay, though, which is weird because I just fell from the sky from a burning plane. But acting. Afterwards, after we all were all set, we all got on buses. We had to show our social security card a lot of times to receive, well, one for check-in, one for receiving a card we had to show it again, and then the third time was for get on the bus. I don't know what's all that about. I think one's enough, but it's not my job. Sorry, I got sniffles. So then, once we got on the bus, we ended up going to the first zone, which was really cool because we saw the scene. You know, there's two different planes. One half of the plane was being set on fire. I'll get back to that. The other half of the plane was already burnt to a crisp. They both were, but already burnt to a crisp for the show. And right next in between was a tent, and in that tent is where we were. They run down the drills. It was a very, very hot day, so we were told to drink water. I didn't want to drink too much because I did not see a bathroom. But after such, we noticed that there's a lot of water by the burning, well, soon to be burning plane. So we're like, what's that? It was to contain the fire, which was smart because that got big. Not the first time. It wasn't big enough the first time, so they blew it up again, which is really cool. And that's when you saw everyone brought out their phones. And I'm like, hey, we're not supposed to have those. I didn't say it out loud to them. Not my job. But I was really regretting not doing what they did. So then we saw the 2 airplane bonfires. And then we were told to go through the next zone, where we would go up a ladder into the half of the plane with the seats and, the luggage and the oxygen mask. And it was so dark. If I wasn't holding the person in front of me, I would have run into everything. And there was luggage on the ground. It smelled like, burnt old socks. It was bad. Okay, it was, So then, after that, we, had to go down another ladder. Now from being from bright to completely dark and smelly to, boom, bright, to go straight down from this angle downstairs. There was a lot of us who almost actually got injured. But we made it somehow. And we were all told to scatter and play our roles. Instantly you hear, ah, my leg, or Grandma, where are you, Grandma? And this other person crawling for their child who didn't make it. Hypothetically, it's all hypothetical. And then I wanted to play my part. So I'm like, my legs. And I went down on the concrete. And then my friend that I made there, she was like next to me, and she was laughing at that. And then I think I played my role a bit too good, because the person playing as the paramedic, he is a paramedic in training. No, not paramedic. I'm sorry, firefighter. He gave me the wrong card. Okay? I was supposed to be a yellow. So it goes in green, yellow, red. Green, you're good. You played your part. You can get up. You can go. And wait and go to the bus. And go get more food. The yellow is supposed to be for, like, not major critical, but, like, okay, you need to be seen, So that was me, supposedly. Now, this dude gave me red, and there's people with the makeup with their, like, bones sticking out, and this is, like, fractured, and this person's jaw is, like, dislocated. This one person had a shard going through them, like a metal bar and everything, and I'm just over here, like, sup? And then they're like, what happened to you? I'm like, I hurt my legs. I got my bones, hurt my legs. I was in the wrong spot. I was, I think, the 6th or 7th person that got out of the critical tent. They noticed me right away as a yellow, but they couldn't transfer me over. This is my sister's cat. He's gonna mess with my hair. But, afterwards, I was finally taken with the ambulance to go to the bus. It just gets better because my ambulance people, one of them, super cool, took me off of the gurney, and he ended up, was like, hey, you want to sit like crisscross applesauce? It's really fun during the ride. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then just to find out that I keep falling. But I'm really simple. I keep doing it. Not only was it really bumpy, we realized it wasn't supposed to be. My ambulance person got lost. The driver got lost. We lost the others. Well, there was one other ambulance. They got lost too. We were following them. And then at one point, the walkies weren't working. So we're like, well, hi. You know? We were just talking like, oh, what are you doing in this field? And, oh, this is what I'm doing. And, well, what about you? Like, I'm still finding that out. Eventually, they found us. They brought us back to the buses. Got back on the bus. And was able to eat again. Like the fresh fruit. The fruit that looked okay. And then, we were all taking pictures. I didn't want to give my lanyard back because I wanted to show proof. I showed proof to my professor, and she's watching this right now, so you know I got it. When we got there, I had to wait almost an hour for everyone to be done before they let us go. I ended up taking group photos of people with their groups. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot something. Before I got to the critical tent, the firefighter guy, he was asking me questions. He saw that I had high blood pressure. That's why he brought me to the critical. I think everyone's blood pressure should be high. We just fell from the sky. So he puts me on this like gurney thing. I think that's what it's called. And he straps me in, and they pick me up, and they put me on this slidey thing that had a whole lot of people on it, also in gurney strapped up. And it was funny because I was like answering still in character, not knowing I could get out of character for a little bit. And the firefighter guy was like, what was he saying? He was like, okay, so another firefighter guy, he says, what's your name? And are you okay? Because I was like, you know. And I was like, my name's Steven. I'm 27 years old, and I can see the light, you know, just having fun. And he goes, you know, you don't have to act right now. Like, are you actually okay? I'm like, I'm okay, dude. What's up? And then he was like, AK. And then changed my name to Stephanie. So all of a sudden, I'm back in character, and I'm like, it's Steven. It's funny. Like, we're all laughing. But all in all, it was a really good experience. I really liked seeing how fast they put out both fires. I really liked how the firefighters, their expressions, you could not fake that. Some of them were actually scared that one day they're gonna have to see this, you know? All in all, I think this was a really good learning experience, and I definitely want to go again. I'm going to be early so I can get makeup done. I'm going to wear clothes that I don't care about. But yeah. And I hope to be taking one of my professor's classes again because she is an awesome professor.